What's goody in the hoodie, Blackwell family? Welcome back to the Blackwell Box, where we heal through having real conversations with real people. As always, I'm your host, Wellness Liss, and we are here yet again uncovering some minority mental health topics. Okay, another Wellness Wednesday in the books. I hope y'all are feeling okay. All right, so today, before we get started, as always, make sure you check out our video streaming platforms. We on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at the Blackwell Box. And you can also catch the audio playback at Amazon Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and Stitcher. All right, so you got no excuse. You can even say, "Hey Alexa, play the Blackwell Box podcast," and boom, flip, skip, she gonna find it for you. It's there. All right, so go ahead, make sure you following us on all of our platforms. Make sure you follow me at wellness.list on Instagram. That's the only social media you're going to find me on. So go ahead and look for me there. All right. So today, I'm excited about this one. Okay. So today, we have a very, very special guest. And the topic for today, we're going to be talking about yoga. We're going to be talking about mindfulness, meditation, all those things to get your body, your mind, your spirit all aligned. So without further ado, we're going to bring in the guest of the hour. We got Eazy Spliffarachi in the building. How you
Hey,
feeling?
I'm vibing and thriving. You know what it
Yeah.
is, man. I can't complain.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
Oh
coming
yeah,
on the Blackwell Box family. We are happy to have you. And we're ready to get this thing started. How about you?
let's get it, man. I'm excited. I appreciate you hollering at me about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about spreading love in the hood, so let's make it
For
happen.
sure. So let's just jump right in. The first one. How long, for those who don't know, all right,
Hmm.
Easy is like the littest yogi out in ATL. I just moved to Atlanta
Hey,
about probably like a year ago.
yeah,
Um, and as soon as I got down here, I was like, yo, I definitely want to get into yoga. Like I'm a therapist. I do a little dabble, but I kept
yeah.
saying like for years, like I'm gonna do it. And so when I first got down here, I followed like I just hashtag yoga, hashtag
Yeah, yeah,
ATL
yeah.
yoga. And you popped up like a gajillion times. So it was only right, you know what I'm saying?
Be on the
And
internet,
so
so whatever.
and so how long have you been into yoga?
I've been in the yoga. I'd say going on. How old am I now? I am 36. About almost 10 years now. Yeah.
Okay. So you're a
Yeah.
vet in the game. You're not new to
Yeah,
this.
don't put in my 10,000 hours or whatever. You know what I mean?
All right. So where did your wellness story begin? When did you first start saying, you know what, I need to be focusing on my mind, body, and spirit and get that ball rolling?
Yeah, so for me, it actually started back when I lived in DC, a little bit before I moved to the A. When I lived in DC, I basically used to do like music, throw parties, stuff like that. And me and my mans, all we used to do was like eat Applebee's and smoke weed all day. You know what I mean?
Sound
And it
about
was
right?
just, what I'm saying, happy hour after nine. We was in that thing. It was thick.
That's DC living.
So living good, eating good too. Well, obviously not eating good because one day I woke up and man, I couldn't breathe. It was about like 3, 4 days straight. I was just like wheezing like crazy. My lungs was not taking in much air. I went to the ER. I'm sitting there. I'm just like, you know what? I ain't got no insurance. Let me get my ass up out of here and figure this out myself. And my degree was like health and fitness management, but I kind of got away from that, even caring about like my lifestyle or anything like that, because I was always like the party scene and just creating. And like most creators do, they don't really take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? You're so focused
Mhm.
on your craft, everything else that you're like, I'll get to that when I get to that. So yeah, at the time, my girl at the time was like, yo, you should try yoga. It's all about breathing, woo woo. And I was like, man, I'll try anything right now. And it's funny because I had tried yoga a little bit a couple years before that, probably when I was about like 21. I used to work at Gold's Gym, and they made you try all the classes so you could explain it to people and stuff like that. But yeah, she told me to try it, and when I tried it, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. My breathing definitely got better, but the biggest thing that I realized was my mind started to change a little bit. I started to become a lot more aware of like what I was doing, what I was thinking, what I was eating, and as I became a little more mindful, I started to pay attention like, oh, damn, my body feel a lot better when I'm eating not just wings every night and sliders. You know what I'm saying? Had to start throwing some smoothies in, throwing some kale and shit in there.
Yeah.
And as I started to become more aware, I started like, damn, like I can't do this all the time. Maybe this is why, I was feeling like trash. So as I kept practicing, I noticed a lot more shifts than just like the body shift. I know a lot of people come to yoga because their doctor or whoever is like, yeah, you got to stretch, you got to do this, you got to do that. And, I just let the people out there know there's so many more benefits than just, your physicality that you get from the practice like this.
Yeah. I definitely resonate with that because I actually moved here from the DMV, and it was a
Mm,
whole different situation. Both lit, but a different situation
yeah,
for
it's a
sure.
vibe. It's a vibe.
For sure. And ironically, I felt like the same way because when after I did my first yoga class, I was always anxious about it because I have really bad
Mm,
asthma. So I was always like, they're gonna be like, breathe, and I'm be like, I
yeah,
can't. And
yeah,
so I was like
yeah.
nervous, but actually it was so ironic because after that, I was breathing so much better. And I was like,
Hmm.
if I think about breathing, it's gonna make me have a difficult time breathing.
Yeah.
But it was like the opposite effect. So I
Hmm.
definitely resonate with that. And so, what would you say? What role has yoga and meditation played in your life?
I probably say that it's played the role of kind of like my own therapy in a way.
Mm,
Kind of with just meditation. I mean, even with yoga, yoga is a moving meditation. You know what I'm saying? Because meditation is really just about practicing being present. You know what I'm saying? There's a million ways to do that. You can count your breaths, you can just focus on your breath, you can stare at one thing, you know what I'm saying? But with yoga,
mhm,
it's a moving meditation where you're practicing just being present with your breath in motion, you know? And I just had a conversation with someone earlier. That's something that we don't do. You know what I'm saying? We don't really practice being present. We're doing something in that moment, but then we're honestly usually thinking about what do we got to do next. So that's one thing that also like kind of changed for me was that it made me pay a lot more attention to like conversations I was having, people I was connecting with. Cause I'm a Pisces too, so my brain is always like do do do
going.
do. Yeah, so I'll be like having a conversation with somebody, but I'm like thinking about like, all right, what's next? But I gotta, you know what I'm saying? So not just really
Yeah,
enjoying that moment and being in that moment and allowing that moment to have whatever it was for me. So sometimes we miss what's really there for us because we're not present. So yoga has really played the role of helping me learn how to be a little more present. Even gone till I started like lifting weights and shit, and I carry a lot over that practice of presence into that.
mhm,
Because you even see it if you're working out, you'll hold your breath, shit like that. But yoga helps you remember, yo, just keep breathing, dog.
yeah,
Keep
yeah.
breathing.
It's definitely a good practice in that way, like you said, that a lot of times for individuals, especially like minority individuals, like it's studies showing
Yeah.
that our brains stay on go, thinking about the next thing, thinking about
Yep.
looking over our shoulder, those kind of things, and our
Yep.
brain stays in this state. I talked about it before, like our lid stays flipped. We like,
Mm,
what's about to happen on go, go, go. And so
yeah.
we need those practices to kind of slow us down in day to day. And what I really like about how you present yoga is that for the people that don't know, he brings the yoga like to a whole nother level. Okay. So we gotta tap into it. We got the trap yoga, we got
Yeah.
the freedom, the new yoga, we
Yeah.
got the blunts and plants and all of these different aspects to
Yeah.
yoga. So of course, I had to ask you what inspired those various styles and bringing that
Man.
yoga for the culture, like bringing that swag to the yoga mat.
Well, to keep it real, when I started teaching, there was only a couple studios out here, and that used to really be the only way, at least in Georgia, that you had yoga accessible to you. I was talking to some other brothers who was from New York, and they used to say that and why people was just doing. You would see black people doing yoga all the time. It was a normal
Mhm.
thing, but it was never really advertised. You know what I'm saying? So yoga is very whitewashed, and just is what it is. So the studios that were here at the time were all, white women owned studios with people. And I had kept like honestly getting fired from spots from like, I would talk the way I talk because it felt authentic to me. I didn't have that like
Right.
yoga teacher voice like, we're gonna take our hands and do all that little fluffy ass shit. It's just not who I am. And so I just couldn't give, that type of shit. So I would still play a little hip hop, little reggae and shit in my classes. And I just kept having bad experiences with studios. And I just told myself, I was just like, man, like, what do I even really want to do this? Originally, I started teaching because I wanted to get more men involved in the practice because I was seeing that like, black or white, like men, we don't take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's just, we don't. And I just thought this was something that, I'm like, this shit helps me, bro. It help anybody. You know what I mean? In whatever way they need it, because the yoga do the work. You know what I'm saying? You just start practicing, this shit starts changing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I started doing all this because literally I just wanted to bring it to the culture, man. I explain it like this. There's people who do yoga and there's people who go to yoga. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Most of us, we go to yoga. You know what I'm saying? We don't really practice because most people who are doing yoga, they practice on their own. You know what I'm saying? They by themselves in their house,
Mm-hmm.
namasteing it the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But most of us, we want to go to an event and experience because one, we're probably intimidated. You know, see Instagram, women putting legs behind their head and motherfuckers doing handstands and all this big wild shit. And it's intimidating, you know what I'm saying? Because it makes you be like, oh, I can't do that, so I can't go to class. You know what I mean? When the whole time, that's not even what the vibe is. You know what I'm saying? I started doing the weed and yoga. We call it a hot box yoga. That's our main one. Because I believe that, one, I was using it as a way to kind of inform more about using the herb in a way that is more beneficial than just like running away from your issues. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time our culture is known to like over medicate. You know what I'm saying? That's everything from alcohol to them Percocets to goddamn
Mm-hmm.
weed, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Sex, everything. We overdo it. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, we own so much. We try to escape however we can. So I try to use it as a way to, kind of teach people to use it as a way to connect to yourself more. Because I'm a firm believer that your connection with yourself determines your connection with everybody else. You know what I mean? So it's just a way to like tap back in with yourself a little deeper. And I always felt like, well, shit, if they ain't like yoga, at least they gonna like the weed. You
That's
know what I'm
true.
saying? And even for the trap shit, you know what I mean? I was very hesitant about teaching that for a while because
Mm.
I had a homie named Brandon who taught up. He's actually the first person to ever really call his shit trap yoga. You know what I'm saying? I know there's like trap yoga bay, there's all these other people out here, but he was the
Yeah.
first person that I seen, you know what I'm saying, do
Mm-hmm.
his thing. And I'm not really a jocker, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't really like to if somebody else been riding the
Yeah.
wave, I wait for my own wave, you know what I'm saying? But I'd never really resonated with like hip hop yoga. I felt that shit was always kind of corny, the way people were like
Mm-hmm.
doing it with the woo. And I'm like, yo, this the A. And so I hollered at him, and he, my brother, man, he was like, man, do that shit. Cause he's from the A actually. And he
Okay.
lived in DC, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. A small
Yeah, and I
world.
met him in DC when he was going to Howard. I never went to Howard. I was just always at there, just like everybody
Same.
else. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
So,
I
but
was Howard
yeah,
adjacent.
you feel me? So I was just right down the street in Tacoma Park. So I just pull up,
Right.
hop on a little red line or whatever. But
Period.
yeah, so I hollered at him. I was like, yo, man, I'm not trying to jock your way, bro, but you know what I'm saying? It would be cool with you, whatever, whatever. And he's like, yeah, bro, I want you to hold it down for my city, da da da. So, I started to do it really as a way to let our people feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing that, yo, like at least I'm like the music or something. You know what I'm saying? I know
Right.
that I'm not gonna be in a room with a bunch of white people judging me, looking at me all crazy, like, is this your first time doing yoga? They love asking that shit. Which I mean, I understand, that you probably never been in a spot with the woo, but still, it's just like it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm here. You know what I mean? So I just really wanted a place for our people to feel safe, to be able to experience something that, like I said, the yoga does the work. And honestly, I've gotten a lot of flack from like some of those real woke ass people who you know what I'm saying, wear their turbans and head wraps and all that shit, and they mega wokeify, which is cute or whatever. They can do what they do, but I believe you got to be as spiritual as you are grounded. And we're here to
Mm.
have earthly experiences as well. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with shaking your ass a little bit, smoke some weed, having a good ass time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but some people they be hating because they so woke that they forget their humanity sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in meeting people where we at, man. This is where we at. This is where we gonna be, and let's move from here. If we meant to be all woke as fuck and wearing white all day in turbans, cool, we'll get there. But that's not where we are right now. And if I
Right.
want people to pull up and show love, shit, I'm trying to party with you. I'd rather party with you and bring some good ass. So we actually started calling TRAP. I came up with an acronym for just that real ass positivity.
Mm.
And that's what we live by, man. We just live by, it's like church. Like they be so mad at me when I leave town. Like I literally plan my trips around my Sunday class. Because like if I'm out of town on Sunday, people be blowing me up my DMs on Monday, Tuesday. Like my week ain't the same. I didn't get to church this weekend. Woo de woo. So you know what I'm saying? I literally be like, all right, shit, I gotta be back. I'm about to be in Mexico in May. I'm like, damn, I gotta be back by goddamn
Yeah.
Saturday, so I could, because normally I'll fly in like a red eye Sunday morning, take a nap, go to class. You know what I'm saying? I do like reckless shit like that. So, but yeah, I just really love to show up for my community, man, because you know what I'm saying, we need each other. And if I can help anybody set the tone for their week, so they can show up better and be the light that they are, shit, whatever it takes.
That's what's up. I love that vibe. That's like the biggest vibe, that drew me to even start Blackwell, just to normalize having these mental health conversations and not helping people to know, like, yes, we're going to get there. It could be as deep as you want it, but it don't
Yeah,
got to be all that. It
it ain't
doesn't
gotta be all
have to be whatever you think you've seen on TV or on Instagram. Like, there's space, in the concept of holding space for our people, to create that equity. Like we can do
Absolutely.
that too. Everybody
Absolutely.
can go to therapy. Everybody can talk about their trauma. Everybody can go stretch it out, yoga it out, all those things. And,
Hmm.
making those things very inviting for minority
Yeah,
people. I think that's
absolutely.
really dope.
It's safe
So
space, man. It's safe space. That's it. That's the biggest thing. It's like you can come, you can be you can be free. I,
exactly.
yeah.
So, we got to talk about the freedom. We got to talk about the freedom, yoga. So,
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
those who don't know, if you follow E on Instagram, you done seen
You're gonna see
the
some
rooter to the
cheeks.
tutor. You done seen the rooter to the tutor just about. So, the first question is like, let's talk about that. Like, were
Yeah.
you always so comfortable with your body like that?
Mm. Honestly, no. That's one of the reasons I started that class. So I know people look at me and be like, "Oh, you got abs, you got da da da." Doesn't mean I ain't grow up insecure as hell. I've always been slim, and the male archetype of what is supposed to be manly is like a big, swole, football-looking motherfucker, and I ain't never been that. You know what I'm saying? I can eat all day, lift all the weights, and it's just too much. Like my body isn't really built like that. I'm more of a Wiz Khalifa, you know what I'm saying, than a
Fine.
goddamn than a 50 Cent. You know what I mean? So I really started a class because I wanted something for myself that let me step into a place of learning to accept myself. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? I wanted something that created that safe space for other people as well. And other times I've been to like new classes. My boy does one, but it's like a males only. I had some homegirls who do like sisters only type thing. But I wanted it to be a space where it's like, yo, like men and women can come together. It's no sexuality. It's no sexual. Nobody's sexualized. It's just literally a safe space.
mm,
And it's funny because I have so many people, and it lets me see kind of where people are at mentally. Man, I have a lot of dudes hit me up like, "Yo, is that be turned into an orgy or like?" Da-da-da. I'm like, bro, you're not ready. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And it's just that like it's really just because like like we've blocked so much as far as like honestly, I feel like with breasts, right? Like, bro, like everybody got some titties, man. It ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? There's a
Right.
million dicks out here. It's just we don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not normalized. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
you look at it like, oh my God, it's nipples. Oh my God, a dick. And it's just like, nah, I don't even got to be all that. So originally I started again because, I wanted to work on myself. I remember when I started, I would kind of be like shy myself. Like I would wait till like we're about to start to be like, all right, pull them drawers down and shit. Now, I'd be like, all right, guys, let's have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And it's just really helped me so much. One, embrace myself, um, and learn to just like accept me. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe, like, yo, you might have a body like a Porsche, they might have a body like a minivan, but hey, it's your shit. You can still change the oil, you can upkeep it, you take care of you. That's all that matters. And you loving your whip. You know what I'm saying? You love the vehicle that you've been blessed with. You know what I mean? Whether you a sports car or a minivan or you a fucking pickup truck, don't matter. Or El Camino, I don't know. Whatever it is, you can still take care of it, decorate it how you want, all that. And what's really crazy is that I try to tell people this all the time. People judge you less when you have no clothes on. You know what I'm saying? It's like for some reason when you had these
mm,
clothes on, it's like, oh, you fat, you this, you that. But when you naked, bro, ain't nobody even thinking about that shit. And it's so
mm.
cool because the type of people that come to that class, especially like new people, like they'll come in kind of apprehensive. They might try to be in the back. By the end of that motherfucker, they done trying to do a whole photo shoot, butt naked by the plants. goddamn hugging people. Like it's crazy. You'll see people just hugging, butt naked, like, and it's no sexual shit. It's just the safest space. Like it's just so much acceptance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, and I don't have people crying up in that bed because they never thought that they could find a space that they could just feel free. Because there's some people who
Mm.
go there naturally love just being naked, but have no space to do that with other people. You know what I'm saying? Um, and again, they don't want to be sexual. It's not like they're like, oh yeah, I'm just so fucking hot or whatever. Like I don't have big girls, big dudes, little dudes, tall, small, fat, slim, whatever name you want to put on it. We just got people. And that's my thing, is that it
Mhm.
normalizes us as people because there's no $100 outfit. There's no nothing but just you bringing yourself and just that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just so beautiful to watch people like let go of their shell. And you know what I'm saying? Because everybody that been called ugly, been called that, fat, that, any label. You know what I'm saying? And it really just lets you see that, yo, like I'm just a person. And like I hope
Mm.
you can accept me as that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like you. We just here in this earthly experience trying to figure shit out. You know what I mean? So that's really why I started it. And it's really cool, man. Like so many, but it's funny, man. Like I done had homies be like, damn, bro. I ain't want to unfollow you, dog, but I had to mute your page, man. Cause you know what I'm saying? I just keep opening my shit. I be in a meeting, opening my shit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, first you shouldn't be on a meeting while you're on Instagram, sir.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
second, you know what I'm saying? Just some ass, dog. Like you like dudes? No?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the problem? If
And
you
I
like
love
me
that.
or not, like who cares, bro? And I'm just really trying to normalize people embracing themselves, man.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That it's just like it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? And because I feel like also it kind of comes back to, a lot of stigmas how we treated women in our society. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women, they may want to wear some goddamn coochie cutters and some goddamn pasties or some shit, but they can't because they're not even safe to walk down the street. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because a man sees a woman showing any part of her body. I mean, shit, for real, women don't even gotta show shit, and dudes still OD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like a woman can't even. She may want to be free as fuck and just embrace who she is. She may feel godly as hell and sexy as hell and want to just show herself for her, ain't for nobody else but her. But we so pressed that like, and somehow have convinced ourselves that she doing that for us, and
Mhm.
so, it's just trying to create that safe space for women that want to be free, want to do whatever. Like we at a point now where we about to plan a whole new retreat. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's like, we want to be on the beach naked. Let's get it. So
That's dope.
yeah,
That's
man. So
dope.
it's just beautiful to bring it all together.
Yeah, I love that because I definitely feel like things are so sexualized. And I think that, creating that space to just exist and be your own self on top of the therapeutic experience that already is coming from yoga. And then on top
Mm-hmm.
of it, you have that layer of being able to be literally free, free.
Yeah,
Let it
literally,
all hang down. And with, like you
literally.
said, like-minded people who okay, the vibes are here. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
not the only one in this headspace. And I think that
Yeah.
that's really dope too, because a lot of times it's easy to think like, oh, I'm the only one that wants to do this, or I'm the only one that's thinking this way or moving this way.
Mm-hmm.
But holding those spaces for people to be like, dang, other people want to, okay, all right. All right. I'm not
Man.
tripping. I'm not, this ain't white people shit. I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
I'm not,
You're not
you know,
alone. That's what I tell for all the
yeah,
time. You're not alone. I tell people all the time, especially like some of my mentees and shit. I'm like, yo, if you like it, somebody else likes it, guaranteed. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody an isolated case. Nobody an island out here, man. I don't care if you like goddamn to dip your Oreos in water. You ain't the first one to do it. You know what I'm saying? No
exactly.
matter how weird this shit is.
Somebody somewhere is on the same wave. All right.
Facts.
So we know that you've been doing this for a long time. You got a whole bunch of different type of yogas and
Mm-hmm.
classes that you teach. So what would you say? What is one thing that you think the average person probably doesn't know about yoga, but you're like, yo,
Mm.
y'all should know this?
I think I said it a little earlier, but that it helps in so much other ways than just, your flexibility of body. You know what I'm saying? There's like a yoga saying where they be like, I think it's what the fuck is it? It's like it's not about how flexible your body is, it's how flexible your mind is. Because you have to be willing to see that, yo, I suck at this right now. And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. Like, because, yo, like, even with like the stretching and shit like that, like some days I got full splits like it's nothing. Some days my shit's way up off the ground. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to accept that, yo, this is me today. You know what I'm saying? So yoga is a big practice in acceptance, man. It's a big practice in just like being cool with who you are and where you are right now. because when you can be accepting where you are and satisfied, that's when the universe starts to bring you more blessings, because you're not looking at your life, your situation, wherever you are, physically, mentally, whatever, as like a lack. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good, I'm here. And that's how you can move forward. You know what I'm saying? If not, you're still looking at the past. You can't even take a step forward because you might trip. You know what I'm saying? But if you're good right here, you're able to look forward and see what's next. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
embrace right here, right now. People
yeah.
don't like that shit. People always either thinking about the past or the future. And the future is a dream and the past is a dream. So, that yoga is that practice of being right here, right now. You know what I mean?
Okay. I appreciate that for sure. Like people just you heard it here first, y'all. Now you know. Now you know. It's not just
Facts.
stretching around for fun.
Because
You
you
know.
like that's the thing. People think that it has to be that. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a lot of people be like, "Oh, I haven't had time to stretch." I'm like, "You ain't got 5 minutes?" They're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." I'm like, "15? Yeah, I could probably do that. 30? Yeah." But especially people who have been conditioned taking yoga classes, right? Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. Hour-long class. We used to be like, "Oh, if you ain't got that hour and a half, you ain't doing nothing."
Mm-hmm.
But I try to tell all my people. Bruce Lee used to say, "It's better to do a little bit, a lot, than a lot, a little bit."
Mm.
So like he would throw like 50 punches here, da da da, go work on this script, go do 100 kicks. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like this
Yeah.
one 4 hour workout, he would break it out into chunks throughout the day to make it, more digestible. Because we
Yeah.
don't have full ass days. Like some days I don't have time. Like today, my one of my clients was late, so I was like, bet, let me jump on my hands real quick. I got at least like 5 handstands out the way before my client pulled up. You know what I'm saying? So, we just try to get those little bites in while you can, because every rep counts. It's not like I did 50 bicep curls and them shits didn't count. I still did my curls. No, I didn't do
Right.
1,000, but you still did something. You know what I mean?
Is
So get off
exactly.
your
That's
ass,
how I had
people.
to get started. That's how I had to get started. Just
Mm-hmm.
waking up and just doing like two minutes if I got it
Yep.
when I wake up or when I get out of the shower. Hitting a little 5 minute, and then that
Yep.
turned into 10 minutes and 30 minutes. Because over time you say, if I could do five, let me do 10 today. Let me do
It
15.
becomes more of a priority too,
Yeah,
because now you feel the difference when you don't have it. It's like
yeah,
eating clean for the first time. When you first start eating clean, you used to eating mad saturated fats and oils and all this shit, where it's like your body feels so bloated and you're used to feeling bloated. Now that you don't eat a
exactly.
salad for lunch and a smoothie, you're just like, oh, I'm so hungry. It's not that you're hungry. It's just you don't have all those oils that are swelling and bloating you up for the next 5 hours.
Exactly. Exactly. So we already talked about, we tapped into the fact that yoga is not just physical, it helps your mental, it helps you, be more
Yeah.
grounded, be more present, and be more mindful. So how can being more mindful help our mental health, you think, in day to day, like
Mm.
outside of the yoga class?
Yeah, man, it'll change your everyday, because again, when you're more mindful, you can now make a new decision on how you're going to act. I always give this analogy. Everybody's had this happen to them. You're in traffic, right? You're already a little aggy, you late. Somebody cuts you off. You start to get a little more angry. You start to build up, and most people will take that anger and they have nowhere to put it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So they carry it with them. Now the next thing that goes in, they're more frustrated. They're more frustrated. Their body's now dumping all these stress chemicals and all this shit in their body. And like people don't know this, but like when you're angry, you're stressed, stuff like that. Those chemicals take hours to leave your system. You know what I'm saying? Like once that shit is in you, it's in you. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? So, you've been in this high level of stress all day. Fuck. So if you can now be a little more mindful, that person cuts you off, instead of you notice and you're aware that, yo, I'm breathing, like you can take a deep ass breath, slow down for a second. Does this really matter to me? Is
Mm,
this moment gonna hold me back really? Listen, I'm already late. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
chill. It's cool, man. Just fucking take a breath and let that motherfucker be. They probably stressed out over there too. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
it allows you that space to choose different. You know what I mean? Because as you build more awareness through the practice, you're learning how to be present. You build more awareness off the mat. I tell people all the time that the practice is really 90% off the mat. You know what I'm saying? Because yoga is every day. It's not a stretch, man. It's presence. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Yoga means to yoke, right? And they say that you're connecting the mind and body through the breath, you know? And that's what you're doing. If you pissing me off, I can connect for a second and be like, oh damn, I'm getting pissed here. Let me take a few breaths and calm down for a second before I say what I'm going to say, because that might change the course of this conversation. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not going to kirk on them like I
Like
would
a
have
regular.
wanted, like I would have regularly have done. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Exactly. I love that piece about, it being transferable. That's a big thing that
absolutely.
I think it's underrated, the concept of how
Yeah,
transferable things are, in practice. And like anything we do is going to be hard at first, and we have to practice it and exercise that muscle. And I
straight up.
love helping people, realize that like the things that you practice, if you practice patience or you practice slowing down your mind in this room, that practice is still going to count and it's going to help
Yeah,
you be able to transfer it when you at work, when you here, when you in those
absolutely.
other stressful places, because you practice in a safe space. You slowed down your mind in a space where it was chill and everyone's on the same vibe. So now
Mm.
when you in a hyped up situation, this not your first time relaxing your mind. It's not your first time
Straight up.
breathing, taking these deep breaths, bringing yourself down. It's something that you like, I've done this like 3 or
Yeah,
4 times, at
yeah.
least in life or this week or today,
Straight up, straight up. And that's one thing that I try to tell this one cat. This one cat was like, trap yoga? Nah, I like my yoga real peaceful, and I want them to talk to me like this. And I'm like, bro, real life don't talk to you like that.
E-
You ain't
Exactly.
walking through life and the cop is like, hey, sir, how you did it? No, you got to calm your heart rate down so he don't think you other some shit. You got to be present and be able to slow yourself. That's why I play this loud ass shit. Yeah, we shake our ass, have a good time, but hey, we still know how to and bring it right back on command.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'll hype them up. I'll play some lit ass shit, have them shaking that, acting the fool, take them back, bringing that breath in. And they'll literally feel from their heart rate going up crazy, then feeling it slowing down, man. And they don't
Yeah.
know it. I don't tell them that shit, but that's what we do. So that way, when you in real life, you start learning how to feel what's happening. You feeling that excitement within you, and you can slow the fuck down, man.
Yeah. That's a big piece
Yeah,
with a lot of the clients that I have, and I always try to help them be more aware. And they a lot of times they don't understand that piece. They're like, "Why are we talking about my body in therapy?" And I'm like, "That's your. It's so easy. Like everybody can tell when their stomach hurt. Everybody can tell when their heart beating. So
yeah,
making those connections between, like you said, your mind and your body, you will be able to say, "Oh, my heart not beating for no reason. My heart beating because I'm anxious." Now you could take that step, and like you said, which I always tell people, I love that you brought that in, taking that space. Because when you take that space,
mm,
you might still smack somebody. You might still smack a nigga. You
it
might.
happens.
But you've taken that space and given yourself, the opportunity to write your own story and not be
Woo.
guided by your emotions or your reaction to somebody else or something in your environment that honestly, a lot of times in my experience, like you said, is not going to affect me in 5 years. It probably was like in crossing paths, you know what I'm saying? You getting the heat from something somebody else did or something like that. So I think it's very important for people to always understand that like creating that space and practicing it whenever you can, like that's help you in your dating relationships, your work relationship, that's one thing I feel like I have mastered and am still mastering. And I
Mhm.
try to put people on because that right there, that hold on. Let me sit in this because especially once I started to understand how the brain works. And like you said, once we get to this highly emotional state, when our lid is flipped and we pissed off and we angry, they say it takes like the average person like 2 hours to fully come down from that. It
Yeah,
takes like to fully come down from
yeah.
that and understanding that when you are, in those charged situations, you're not thinking in your most rational mind. You're thinking more emotion than like intuition and rationale. And so
Straight
giving
up.
yourself that space to be like, at the very least, recognize like I'm pissed right now. At the
Yeah,
very
straight up.
least, I'm
Straight
pissed.
up.
So if I say something, it's because I was pissed, so I'm not looking back like,
Yeah.
and I don't even know what happened, being able
Yeah.
to be present at the very least and say, okay, I'm mad. I thought about it. I'm still about to smack this nigga. You
Yeah.
done the work. I can only be so mad.
You're
You
aware
waited
about
out.
it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? We
That was
still
most
human.
important to you.
You
But you
still
were guided by
human.
your own mind, and by your own
Absolutely. And you knew what the fuck you was doing. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like you're making a conscious decision instead of
And
just
I can't be
moving off
mad at
fucking
nobody.
autopilot.
Exactly. I can't be mad at nobody's conscious decision. I may not agree, but at the very least, you know what? You wrote
I
your own
respect
story.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. You wrote your own story. So we got a couple more questions here. So we already talked a lot about yoga. So I want to know, like, what do you do personally to protect your mental health outside of yoga, like aside from yoga?
Outside of yoga meditation, man, we talked about a little self-care. I've been looking to get more into nature. I've never really been a very like naturey, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Miami, but I'm still like a city boy, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like one of those like to play in the dirt ass kids, you know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
funny because my son's just like that. Like his little homies will be picking up worms and he'll be like, you can hold it, you can hold it. You know what I'm saying? But I've been learning, you know what I'm saying, just rollerblading. You know what I'm saying? I was after me and my kid's mom had broke up. We had like a really long relationship. It was like 8 years. Lived together for like 2 years after we broke up because we had the kid. And I was like mega depressed. And I asked myself, yo, what did I like to do when I was a kid? You know, shit that I could do that just like whether I was with other people or by myself, it was still fun. And I used to hoop all the time, but then I was like, nah, basketball, I'm into it, but I'm not super into it anymore, you know? And I was like, I did like the rollerblade. So I remember I had bought a pair a little bit before the pandemic. I had bought me a pair of rollerblades and I just started skating. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever my kid's mom would come home, she would watch them. I would leave the house like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. And I would just go downtown and rollerblade for like hours. You know what I'm saying? Till my feet hurt. And that shit
Mm-hmm.
just made me feel super free. You know what I mean? So I like to do little stuff like I don't know, a lot of things for me are movement that make me feel
Mm-hmm.
good and free, you know. So I might go take a walk in nature, just listen to the sounds around me. Shit. That's usually it, man. Stuff like that. I love to travel. So, you know, sometimes for my own mental health, I've learned about myself that if I don't go somewhere new, even if it's like driving away an hour up the city, whatever, um, I get very restless and I don't show
Mm-hmm.
up as my best self for my son or the people around me. So I've learned to honor that because for a long time I would be like a martyr for my son. I'd be like, oh, well, he
Mm-hmm.
needs me and I can't go anywhere. And now I'm like, hey, buddy, go to
Yeah.
your Auntie Chelsea house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, because then I'm going to be able to show up better and more present for him. So, you know, I
Right.
try to just do little things like that, man. You know, play with like sit in my plant room, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Just real chill shit.
That's dope. And I love that you like the similar theme that's been rolling, is keeping it real, keeping it like in real
Yeah.
life. I may or may not be able to go to Cancun every day, but I
Yeah.
can go sit with some flowers. I can go
Yeah.
rollerblade, these things that we can
Hmm.
do day to day. And I love how you said taking it back to like when I was a kid, what did I enjoy? Because
Yeah.
we know that life beats our ass. Life makes us rougher and tougher,
No
and we
mercy.
have to actively seek out those genuine like things that make us happy. And a really
Yeah.
easy way to do that is to start thinking like before I got so jaded, before I got so busy, before, and not to say that kids don't have their own issues and
Yeah.
things, but like before I had to deal with so much of the world and so much of other people's energy, who was I? What did I enjoy? And
Yeah.
giving power and space to that, because I think a lot of times we say, well, I was just a kid and I ain't know no better, or kids don't know nothing, or all of these false things. But being able to go back and say,
Yeah.
a part of me is still the same person I was when I was 5.
I'm
And what
still
did
like
that
that shit.
5-year-old love? What made that 5-year-old laugh and giggle?
Yeah.
It may not be the same movie, but it may be movies in general,
Hmm.
bringing peace and being able to
Absolutely.
recall those things and like you said, slide them in there, make them a priority. To that night, I could just go to sleep right now, but you know what? I need to give me that me time because I give everybody else
Hmm.
daytime all
Hmm.
day, and pouring back into yourself. So,
Straight up. Love
all
that.
right. So, what would you say? We wrapping up at the Blackwell box. We always like to give people something tangible they can take home like this. Like,
Mm.
all right, all that stuff was good. I caught some of it. I missed some of it, but I got this in my pocket. So, what would you say are 3 things that the Blackwell Box family that we can start doing today to
Yeah.
improve our quality of life, to improve our awareness, our mindset, our mental health? What can we do today?
I got more than three, but simply as hell. You know what I'm saying? Get more sunlight, number one. You know what I'm saying? That shit, people, we become, especially melanated people, will be very depressed. Like your body is meant to take in that sun. You know what I'm saying? So please go outside. Go out, fuck outside. I don't care if you just sit on the front steps, man. Go outside.
Mm,
Of course, drinking more water, that's basic. Really something that will help to improve your life is add some raw food into your life. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? I'm not a vegan by any means. But throwing a smoothie in your life, eat some mangoes, some grapes, like because most people, especially people who eat meat, they don't really eat any veggies. You know what I'm saying? It'll be
Mm,
like some either like everything is either fried, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we eat lots of processed food. So by starting to eat a little bit more raw, whether it's a smoothie, a salad, whatever, a bunch of fruits, it starts to change your palate, and then you're gonna start to re-energize your life. Like people, like I'm 36, man. People think I'm in my 20s. Um, that's because I like to eat a little better,
mm-hmm,
and that shit makes a difference, And when you do, and the last thing I say, and the most important, is do something that makes you happy. You know what I
mm.
mean? And like my teacher used to say, you gotta drink as you pour. You know what I'm saying? So as or I tell when I do the hot podcast, I say you gotta puff before you pass. You know what I'm saying? Because most of us were always pouring into people, whether it's your kids,
Yeah.
your job, whatever. Most people are in a service arena. Um, and it's easy to forget to take care of yourself first. You know what I'm saying? So do something that makes you happy, because what happens is when you can stay on that happiness frequency, that's a frequency of love. And again, another thing we preach in the trap is that everything you want feels good. So if you can't keep yourself feeling good and staying in that higher vibration, nothing that you want can really be attracted to you, because you don't match this
Mm,
vibration. From love to abundance of money to travel, new jobs, stuff like that. It comes from that lack of satisfaction and being unhappy where you are, and unhappy with this, unhappy with that. And most people don't do anything that feels good for them. There's no self care. There's no. And that rollerblading could be self care. Taking a bath could be self care. It's literally whatever feels good to you. If watching fucking
mm-hmm.
anime feels good to you, do that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because again, man, like everything you want is at that frequency of love, and love feels good. So if you're not loving on you, you can't really attract those things that you really want. So that's the biggest thing for me, man, is do something that makes you feel good. If not every day, as often as you can. You know what I mean? I know people
Dope.
busy, you got schedules, so I mean, just make
Yeah.
sure that you're pouring into your cup.
Yeah. Dope. I thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Y'all heard it
Of
here.
course.
Y'all heard it here. Y'all need to drink y'all water and eat something raw. You know what I'm saying? We need to go outside. We need to go outside and get the sun rays on your face. Don't be scared of that tan. Don't be scared to get a little
Hey, darten it
brown.
up, man. You see my
Okay?
pale ass. I'm ready to go back to Mexico.
Exactly. And do something that makes you happy. I love that
Yeah,
one. And I
absolutely.
think, especially the detail of, I get it. We all got lives, we got stuff to do, but stuff that makes you happy, it don't have to be big and grandiose.
Mm,
Do those little things as often as you can to make yourself happy. One time I had a mentor who told me every day you're gonna have to do something you don't like to be successful. You're gonna have to.
facts.
So you need to give that same energy, and for everything that you do that you don't like or that you have to do or that's just part of the job, you need to find one thing, whether it's eating a sandwich that you like, whether it's being 5 minutes late because you finishing that Megan Thee Stallion song in the parking lot before you go into work. Whatever it is, for every one thing you do for other people, make sure that you, like you said, pour it into yourself
Right up.
as well. So we definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much. And here
For
at the
sure.
Blackwell Box, like I said, we a family. You in the
Hey.
family now, so
Hey.
we gotta know, how can we support you? How can we, everybody listening, me included, support you? Stay locked in. Where can we follow you? What's T?
For sure, for sure. So on the gram, it's Yoga Playground, no fancy spellings. It's all one long ass word. I will be doing a lot more online stuff, man. We do a busted open challenge, but I've been trying to create a little more, again, beginner friendly space. So we have a segment we're going to start dropping once my website drops, and it'll launch a subscription service. Super cheap, affordable for everybody, probably like $15 a month. I'm gonna upload starting with just like 2 classes a week, our trap shit. So if you can't make it to the studio, we're gonna put that on there. And a class I call Yoga Made Easy, which is super simple, beginners, 30-minute sessions, about 20, 30 minutes, just enough that like you said, if you ain't got time before you got to go to work, you still got time to drop down, get a little something, something in, learn something, so you learn how to take a little better care of yourself. I mean, so that website is theyogaplayground.com. That'll be out soon. So just follow Yoga Playground on Instagram, and I'll keep everything else up on there, man.
All right, you heard it here, guys. Make sure you follow Yoga Playground on Instagram. That's how I
Seriously.
found out all the tea. That's how I found the busted wide open yoga and
Hey.
the late night hot box and all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so if you in the A, make sure you pull up on them. And if you're not in the A, look at that. We got the virtual and the
On the
affordable.
way, baby.
Listen, you and we got
For the
everything you
culture,
need.
man. It's
Then
all
that's
for the
how we do
culture.
it. And that's
Off
how we do it in
top.
the Blackwell Box. That's how we do it for our people. So thank you so much for
Course,
coming
Liss.
on here. Again, everybody, make sure you
Hey,
follow the Yoga Playground. Make sure you catch the Blackwell Box on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch,
all that.
Facebook. Get the audio. If you listening, then keep listening wherever you listening to. And if you watching, look at the bottom of the screen and you'll see where else you can listen at. And that's period. So until next time, thank you so much for
For
coming,
sure. My pleasure.
everybody. Make sure you stay black, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and most importantly, make sure that you stay well. Peace.
Woo.